Chinese Canadian here. Trump just announced another tariff against Canadian aviation industry. He said because Canada did not certify U.S. company Gulfstream's business jets, he will decertify Bombardier's Global Express and all other aircraft made in Canada. If the issue is not immediately corrected, he will impose a 50% tariff on all Canadian aircraft sold in US. A lot of people will say this is just Trump being Trump, and it's not Canada who do not want to be partner with US. It's US do not want to be partner with Canada. But as I said before, look at Taiwan, look at Japan, and before I mentioned South Korea. But because South Korea's leader, who also went to China and want to get deal with China, he also get threatened by Trump's tariff war again. So it's very clear whoever causing up with China will get tariff punishment from USA. Some Canadians think that China is more reliable than USA. As a Chinese Canadian, let me tell you, that's absolutely not true. Recently, Xi Jinping locked up his childhood friend, also the top general in Chinese military, Zhang YouXia. Zhang YouXia is #1 person in the Chinese military. He is the only one who has real war experience and is highly respected inside Chinese military. He even has the right blood. As we Chinese call, he is the second generation red blood. His father were the top generals who built PRC. He's also a childhood friend of Xi Jinping. Through the years, Xi Jinping trusted Zhang YouXia very much. That's a very shock news for the whole world. The reason Xi Jinping get rid of Zhang YouXia, Wall Street Journal said it's because Zhang YouXia leaked secret nuclear information to US. I don't think that's true. I think that's Xi Jinping trying to make this move looks not so bad. But Chinese remember a similar situation before when Mao Zedong removed Lin Biao. People like Mao Zedong or Xi Jinping framed people as betray them or disloyal to the party. But in fact, it's just a pure power struggle, and they feel their position has been threatened. In China nowadays, a top general be removed just like that, and nobody can ask a question. This shows how unstable, paranoid, and unsafe Xi Jinping feel about himself and his empire. So don't tell me China is a more reliable partner. That's simply not true. Instead of trying to figure out how to deal with Trump and make a good deal for Canadians, our government decide to blame Canadian on this. British Columbia Premier said Albertans who meet with officials from Trump administration are traitors. I think whoever causing up with China are the real traitors of Canada.
I'd like to just take and pause a moment. I read an article last night in the Financial Times about a group of people from Alberta, I won't describe them as Albertans, who went to the White House seeking the assistance of the United States to break up our country. Now, I understand the desire to hold a referendum, to talk about the issues you want to talk about in Canada. We got free speech, that's important. But to go to a foreign country and to ask for assistance in breaking up Canada, there's an old-fashioned word for that, and that word is treason.
By the way, the British Columbia Premier happened to be very close to China. You see the pattern? A lot of people tell me Trump or US is a bully. But I say bully is still a human. China is inhuman. Every time when there is a big thing happen in China, Chinese has no information about that because of the top-down censorship. So Chinese will try to get information from outside world. And the head of product of X just said that the Chinese government flood X search with porn. Every time when there is a political unrest, to prevent Chinese finding out real information, China use porn to flood the search result so that you do not figure out what happened with Xi Jinping locking up his childhood friend. This naivety of seeing China as a real partner will cost Canada. US company GM will cut 1,200 jobs in Ontario. Canadians are starting to pay the price of cozying up with China. And trust me, China won't deliver their promise to Canada if there is any. In the real world, whoever anti-China and stand with US will earn money, and whoever anti-USA and cozying up with China will lose money. Just look at Japan. Japanese Prime Minister said if China attack Taiwan, Japan will help Taiwan and US. Because she said so, China discouraged Chinese to visit Japan. Chinese visitors are down 45%, but visitors from Taiwan, South Korea, Thailand, Malaysia, US are growing, not only making up the loss. Japanese tourist income increase 10%. That's what happens when you are anti-China and stand with USA. You earn money, you earn respect. But what Carney brings us is loss of jobs, loss of wealth, and loss of respect.